Catch the pros in action on the Bassmasters.
I need help. Big fish. Oh, yes, come on, baby. Other side of the boat. No, this side. Grab her by the mouth. Yes. Fish all day for one bite, but when you get it, it's a big one.
I need 2 bites, maybe 3 bites to win this tournament, and I've just made the commitment to go for broke.
Put the best bass fisherman in the world on a lake with one of the best reputations for big bass action, and you've set the stage for the Bassmaster Georgia Top 100. The Bass Angler Sportsman Society's professional tournament trail returns to Lake Seminole at Bainbridge, Georgia. For the next 4 days, 107 top-ranked pros and their amateur partners square off on this 37,500-acre Georgia-Florida border impoundment. There's over $273,000 in awards up for grabs.
At this Georgia Top 100 tournament, every angler is going to earn his money. We're here in early December, several weeks ahead of the previous springtime tournaments. Winter bass fishing can be tough any place, but right now, Lake Seminole is unusually tough. Just getting a bite is a problem. Evidently, Seminole has a problem too. Something's happened. Nobody's got the answer, but the big schools of black bass in Seminole seem to have vanished. Where did they go? With this bunch of pros, maybe we'll figure it out. One thing about tough tournaments, they're great learning tools. Gives our Bassmasters cameras the opportunity to focus in on tips and tactics for tough times and share them with you viewers at home. Today, you're going to learn from Brian Schott why his jerking, pumping retrieve with a spinnerbait works to trigger bass to strike. Not just bass, but big bass. Also, Ray Sedgwick has valuable tips you can use to improve your success with a lipless crankbait, the rattle trap. Shaw Grigsby talks you through how to tie the Carolina rig, then shows where and how to fish it for early spring staging fish. In our bass mail department, Jim Morton's got the answer to a viewer's question about the loop knot and topwater baits. It's all that, plus Ray Scott's Bassmaster Casting Kit of the Week, so stay with us. I'm Bob Cobb. The Bassmasters are coming right back.
The city of Bainbridge, South Georgia, the gateway to Lake Seminole. A perfect setting for the repeat of R.L. Stevenson's tale, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. For bass anglers, Lake Seminole has become just that, a Jekyll and Hyde. Over recent seasons, the Bassmaster Tournament Trail here has enjoyed the good times of Dr. Jekyll. Spring 1993. Shaw Grigsby Jr. patterns bedding bass to weigh in 64 pounds, 13 ounces and win the 4-day Bassmaster BP Top 100. The following March, David Fritz goes after staging fish on the flats off the Chattahoochee River and scores the heaviest winning weight for a Bassmaster Top 100. And just this past season, February '95, Claude Fish Fishburne posted a winning total of 59 pounds, 2 ounces in the Bassmaster Top 100 here. Now, barely 10 months later, there's Mr. Hyde, the Lake Seminole with the split personality.
If you were putting together a list of the all-time top bass fishing lakes in the country, Georgia's Lake Seminole would not only be on the list, it would be somewhere near the top. But unfortunately, things have changed here at this one-time bass factory, and nobody can put their finger on exactly why.
Something has definitely happened. It doesn't have the numbers. They say there was a big die-off, but, you know, I know they spray a lot here, and I contribute a lot of times when you have a lot of grass and they start spraying that, you know, that's where the fish are, is in the grass, and those chemicals, I think, kill a lot of fish.
I don't really know what the answer is. I don't know if any of the local game people or biologists know what the answer is, but I know one thing. There's not the fish here that there used to be.
Fish tough. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting a bite.
It's one of the first tournaments in a long time that I really have no idea where I'm going to start this morning or what I'm going to do.
Tough conditions. As bass fishermen, we've all been there, haven't we? That's really nothing new. But it's how you adjust to tough conditions to find and catch bass that makes a pro a pro. So let's go to school now with these Bassmasters and find out what you do when conditions turn against you.
I think the lesson here is to slow your bait down super slow. Just throw it in and let it soak. Throw it by the structure, throw it in the grass, throw it by something and let it sit like longer. You're moving it too fast.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be real cold and all, so I took a jig and I just started fishing rivers because I know river fish really don't change that much the first 2 or 3 days of a cold front.
Brian Schott, a Sam Rayburn, Texas-based pro, is fishing an underwater grass bed off the Chattahoochee River. Yesterday, Brian, a rookie top 100 qualifier this season, got everyone's attention. He weighed in 17 pounds, 8 ounces with 3 bass. The big one weighed 7.5 pounds.
One of the things that's giving Brian the advantage is that pumping retrieve on his spinnerbait. Listen to how he's doing it.
What I'm doing here is just a method of slow rolling a spinnerbait. What I've done is I've taken this 3/4 ounce Horizon Ghost minnow, downsized the blades, and what I'm doing is I'm throwing it out there where that grass is about 2 foot under the water and scattered. What I'm doing is letting that bait fall about 3 or 4 foot down and then pumping it back out. These fish just aren't active in just a normal spinnerbait, just slow rolled, regular style over the top of this grass. Just, it won't get a bite. You just have that erratic action of that bait popping up through that grass, and it's turning on a couple of those big fish.
There's one. Big fish. I need help. Other side of the boat. No, this side. Grab her by the mouth. Yes. Fish all day for one bite, but when you get it, it's a big one. Whew, that's exciting.
Fishing fortunes and conditions flip-flop like the weather during the Georgia Top 100 tournament. Weather-wise, temperatures in the high 60s drop to the 40s. Fog and heavy rain, followed by strong winds, a cold front, and more rain. Water temperatures ranged in the mid-50s. After leading the tournament for 2 rounds, Brian Schott fires blanks on day 3. But South Carolina's Ray Sedgwick, who went fishless the first day, figures things out.
Watch the weight. Here we go. Slide them on. 13 pounds and 1 ounce. That's the creel we're looking for. Let's give him a good hand, people. Congratulations, my friend.
Ray Sedgwick's back-to-back 5 bass limits put him on top the leaderboard with 27 pounds, 13 ounces. Brian Schott slips to second with 24 pounds, 2 ounces. Randy Dearman ranks third with 22 pounds, 13 ounces, followed by Doug Garrett with 21 pounds, 8 ounces. Jim Bitter in 5th has 19 pounds, 15 ounces, and is the only angler to score a limit each day. Matter of fact, only 22 5 bass limits have been registered in 3 days of competition. Tough fishing, and it's not over yet.
There's our tournament leader, Ray Sedgwick, working his grass bed back and forth meticulously in some of the toughest fishing conditions you can imagine. You can see the cold northwest wind blowing at over 15 miles an hour. It's been driving rain most of the morning. But one thing that I've noticed, and this has to be a key to Ray Sedgwick's success so far today, is that he has meticulously worked back and forth, keeping his faith in this area, knowing that there are some fish there. And if one lure, like this rattle trap, has not produced fish in a while, he hasn't been afraid to set it down and pick up something else.
I caught my first fish on a rattle trap. The water's cleared up so much. I had a couple of them hit the trap that wouldn't take it. And I lost a fish a little while ago on a Carolina rig. I figured I'd slow down. There's a 15-foot creek channel right behind me here. And there's a grass line that runs up this side, and they've been relating to that grass. There's scattered clumps out here and real clean sand. And I think they've been just kind of ambushing their bait as it comes by these clumps of grass. When this weather turns bad like this, and I really don't know whether they just get real tight or move back out to that deeper water or what. I haven't been able to catch them in the deeper water, so maybe they just got tight.
Ray Sedgwick has just put his second keeper bass in the live well. Persistence is paying off. He's been working this area thoroughly, and that second keeper fish under today's super tough conditions may be the one that puts him over the top.
Folks, this may be our winner. Watch him closely. Sedgwick's weight, 2 bass, 4 pounds, 9 ounces. That'll put him over the top, folks. Let's give him a nice hand. There is your champion, I predict, right here.
But Ray Sedgwick's gonna sweat. Brian Schatz caught
you got
fish
3 bass,
today.
you got to weigh 8 pounds. Watch the scale, people. 8 pounds and he's a rich man. Weight, not quite. 6 pounds, 7 ounces. Give him a good hand anyway, people.
The champion, Ray Sedgwick, a 4-day total of 32 pounds, 6 ounces with 12 bass. Ray's first victory in 4 long years of trying. He won a test of the best, worth $45,000. Brian Schott, with just 7 bass, finishes second with 30 pounds, 9 ounces and a $27,000 payday. Rick Clunn claims third with 26 pounds, 13 ounces. The $23,000 payout puts Rick over the $1 million mark in BASS career winnings. In the amateur division, Gary Brown of Mississippi wins a $20,000 Ranger bass boat, powered with an OMC outboard. His winning total, 14 pounds, 4 ounces for 10 bass.
Ray, congratulations for a fantastic performance on the toughest of circumstances.
Right now, it's time for the Pros Pointer, the how-to section of the Bassmasters. Brought to you by Wrangler Rugged Wear, geared for the outdoors.
This is one of the lures that I use this week to help win on Lake Seminole here. It's a 1/2 ounce gold with a blackback Bill Lewis rattle trap. The tip I wanted to tell everyone is the hooks that come on it are fine, but I've gotten partial to these Excalibur hooks, and they've got a twist bend in them, and they're very sharp. And I change all my traps, and I go to a size larger. When I'm in grass, I go to about the same size. These are number 4s, and if I was just fishing open water with no structure, I usually put a number 2 on the front and a number 4 on the back. I also used Stren Magnathin 16-pound test line. I was fishing in 3 to 5 foot of water, and I used the heavier line to help keep the buoyancy of the bait up some so it wouldn't sink so fast, and once again snag the grass.
Seasonal patterns for bass fishing. The only good thing to come out of a tough late-season tournament is the knowledge that bassin will improve the closer we get to the magic spawning season. But don't wait too late. The pre-spawn period can be one of the best times to zero in on a building concentration of big bass. In reservoirs, keep an eye on the creeks in the northeast area of the lake. With warmer southerly winds, the north side of the impoundment warms first. With water temperatures rising in the 50s, bass will migrate or move from winter holding areas to the creeks. These early arrivals start to congregate in places tournament pros refer to as staging areas. In most cases, the fishing will be slow, the bass still sluggish, thus a perfect time for a bottom-dragging Carolina-rigged lizard. More and more tournament trail pros are depending on this lure when the bite's slow. Here's how 4-time BASS champion Shaw Grigsby Jr. rigs it.
The first thing we do is slide on a weight, and I'm using a big egg ball sinker here, and we call it because it's egg-shaped, and slide on a bead, and then tie it onto your swivel. So what you have is a weight and a bead and a swivel, and that's going to make it, run around on the bottom, and it's going to make noise every time that bead and that swivel hit. Then we're going to take and make our leader, and what I have here is 20-pound test line, and I'm going to take 17 and make my leader out of 17. And usually I like using a little bit smaller leader line so that if you break off, you don't lose your big weight. I just take it and I'm going to tie on to the swivel. Do this kind of quickly here. Then I'm going to tie a hook on, and I'm going to make the leader about 3 or 3.5 feet long, and that should be perfect. So I'm just going to measure it, get it about that distance, and then tie on a hook. Then I'm just going to take the hook, using a 3/0 hook on these lizards, and I'm just going to tie it on, and I'm going to make real certain. I'm going to tie this on with a Palomar knot, and I want to make real certain, once I get most of this done right here, that these lines, you can see them here, they're doubled here, and I want to make sure they don't cross each other. So I'm being real particular about this so that I don't break off anything. And right there should work perfect. And then we only have one more thing to do. That is, we're going to take this point, and they're pretty stinking sharp right there. It's a laser sharp high-performance hook, but we're just going to dust it a little bit. What I'm going to do is just take a little bit of metal off on both sides. Just get it, yeah, get it to where it's real tacky. Maybe take a little off the bottom there to where no matter what happens, with just a little bit of pressure, you're going to stick that fish. Now you just get your lizard, which I don't have one of those out, and we're ready to go fishing. Undo the clip and slide this lizard on here. And I think we're ready to go hunt for another big one. Okay. The big rig. Right here. Let's go fishing. What I'm fishing right here is an underwater point, and it's real hard to see because there's a dock built across it, so you wouldn't even think there was a point there, but it comes out underneath the dock and just goes straight across here and ends about where this buoy marker is, and that little buoy marker tells everybody not to run up on it. It also tells me it's a prime place for the fish to hold. And it's really what it is, it's a staging point for fish to pull in here and spawn. So every now and then one will just pull up on it. All right, let me show you what you do. Real hard and pull, and here he is. And there it is, it's good fish. Good fish. I just hope he's 16. He's probably 15 and a half. Come on, puppy. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh. Stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down. Ooh. All right, turn. No. One more time. And we have keeper! Yes!
The Bassmasters are coming right back with more tips and tactics from the Tournament Trail pros. Now it's time for Bass Mail, where you send in questions for the pros. Paul Troop of Milwaukee, Wisconsin asks Oklahoma Invitational champion Jim Morton, how do you tie a loop knot when you use it on a topwater lure?
Okay, Paul, let me show you how to tie not only a loop knot for your topwater bait, but let me show you a couple other ways to attach lures to the line. One of the ways is, of course, to tie the loop knot, but the other way is using what we call a cross-lock snap. This allows you to change your lure rather rapidly. You don't have to retie every time, and you can attach a new color or a new type of lure to that cross-lock snap at any time. These are very strong. They're not weak. In fact, they're probably stronger than the pound test line you're using. The other way that we attach is most lure manufacturers on their crankbaits and on their topwater baits and maybe on their stick baits such as this, attach an O-ring. You can either tie direct to this O-ring and cinch your knot down tight. It wouldn't be necessary to use a loop knot with this type O-ring, or you can simply attach it to using a Durlock snap. But now let me show you real quick about your loop knot. This is one knot that the first thing you want to do is always lay your lure down. Get it out of your hand because you're going to have to use both hands to start this knot. This is the only knot you actually start without inserting the line through the line tie. And what you want to do is just simply make an overhand knot, okay? A loop like so, okay? Then we pick the lure up. We insert the line through the line tie, come back through. Now, here's the common mistake most people make trying to tie a loop knot, or what makes a loop knot fail, is they don't put enough twists in the line. Now, the higher pound test, say 15 and above, you want about 4 to 5 twists in the line. So this is 20-pound test, we're going to put 4 twists in it, okay? That'll be plenty to hold it. Then we insert the loose tag end back through the loop, like so. We get a hold of the just like this, hold it just like that, and just cinch it down tight. Then we'll clip off the tag end of the line. Okay, and there's our loop knot.
Send your Bassin questions to Bass Mail, P.O. Box 140430, Dallas, Texas, 75214.
The Grand Slam of Bassin, winning both the BASS Angler of the Year title and the Bassmasters Classic World Championship in the same season. Only one angler has achieved it, Mark Davis. Next week, our Bassmasters cameras will be in the boat with Mark, and a chance for you viewers at home to learn the winning tactics of one of the most versatile fishermen on the tournament trail. For the Bassmasters, I'm Bob Cobb. See you all right here next week on TNN Outdoors.
The Bassmasters has been brought to you by Zebco Quantum, the top names in fishing.